Welcome to Meet the Musicians, powered in part by Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com. Back, everybody, to another episode of Meet the Musicians. In studio today, we have got one of my favorites, the one, the only Platos Theory. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you all very much for joining us here today. So, for anybody that has not heard of you guys or is unaware of Platos Theory, give us the rundown on what your music is, y'all's style, who you guys are, all that good stuff.
Megan, take it away.
So I play cello in the group. Rose plays violin. Mia is our singer, and she also plays ukulele.
Okay.
We got started, three years?
3 years ago,
I
yeah.
think 3 years ago. Our first performance ever as a group was at an open mic at LSA.
Okay.
And it kind of just...
First show ever was open mic at LSA.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the first time we ever did anything. I remember how nervous we all were.
I think we took
It was
stands.
in July, too, so it was super hot outside. But our group started... Rose came out to just busk on the square by herself because she was, preparing for an audition. And then... the Bone Doggy who runs the LSA open mic came down and heard her and invited her to come back to come and play at the open mic, but she didn't want to go by herself. Mm-hmm. So then Rose asked me if we could do like some covers of some stuff together, and then we were learning Brown Eyed Girl.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then Mia comes out of her room, which she never comes out of her room. And then she was like, hey, I can sing that song. And she had just gotten a ukulele too. I think it was like for her birthday or Christmas or something.
I don't remember, either one.
But then she's like, yeah, and I can play it on the ukulele. And we didn't believe her because she's never expressed that she could sing before that time.
Sure.
Yeah. So then we learned it together. And then I forgot what other songs we learned. We learned a couple of string pieces with her playing ukulele. And then we were invited back the next week as the special guest at LSA.
Very cool.
And then kind of went from there. We started like really branching out with our covers. One of the weirdest ones, I guess, would be Lose Yourself by Eminem or Mia.
Very cool. That's a favorite for sure.
Yeah, and then played on the ukulele, cello, and violin, which I feel like is an odd combination, but it just worked. Like we tried it and it didn't sound bad. So.
That's cool. Yeah. So for anybody that's brand new to Platos Theory, how did you guys all first meet?
We're all sisters.
Yeah, we're all sisters.
There it is. That's what I was.
I forget about that part.
I was setting you up.
Yes.
Anyways, well, very cool. So sister trio.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I've ever asked you guys this. Were y'all like classically trained to go play in like a symphony or something, and you decided to go rock and roll, or like what was the origin of you guys individually?
Megan, we all were in orchestra. I obviously play violin, and Mia plays violin, and Megan was playing cello in the Fort Worth Youth Orchestra, and we were there for I was there for 5-6 years. Megan was there for 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. Mia was in it for 3 or 4. And there's different levels, and Megan and I went through all the levels. We went through one. There was 4 of them, so it was the junior string orchestra, the string orchestra, philharmonic, and then youth orchestra, which is the top. And we were classically trained. I was planning to be a soloist, and I had actually done a tour 2 years ago. To go to Europe. It was really, really fun. And that was an opportunity with the Fort Worth Youth Orchestra. So we've done a lot of stuff like that. We've played a lot of weddings. We've done several different auditions for different summer camps and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we've done a lot of stuff in the classical field. And we were training to be professional, classically trained musicians.
I think that once we realized, just because that kind of environment is also... it can be very kind of competitive and stuck up. It becomes very judgmental too. Okay. That's just kind of the environment of it. There's, really in anything, good and bad.
Sure.
But I think me and Rose kind of felt burnt out a little bit. I mean, at least I did. I was at UNT for a cello performance, and I think just the constant, like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. And it was really hard to find the positive, so then we did this for fun.
Yeah.
Like, this was our, like, fun, like, safe place where we could just do whatever we wanted.
We forgot how other people view, like, string instruments. They just think that they're so cool.
Very, like,
outside of, like, the classical world, they're not seen as, like, oh, she's a violinist
like,
and
is
she
she
sits
good?
here. Yeah.
Is she good?
Yeah, it's just people will see, like, a violin. Like, whenever I was busking, I just got so much, like, positive feedback. What in my head, I was like, you sound so bad. You sound so bad. This is terrible. But then people would, like, clap for me, and I was just like, I can't believe that I'm so hard on myself, because I was going to all these competitions and, like, different concerto. Like, I would do different concertos, and even, like, parents would, like, criticize my performance. And, like, yeah. So it's just when I did the busking and we did open mic and we got such, like, a positive reaction from everybody, it was just really nice, because it felt like, people
really
like
fun.
us. Yeah,
it was really fun. And it's very vulnerable, especially when we started doing our original songs, putting out the first EP. It was really scary. I know I was really nervous, because that's, like, everything you've created, everything you've put all your work and effort into, like, and then Mia writes all of our lyrics.
Yeah.
So.
Which is extremely impressive, by the way.
Yeah. How does
Because you
that
have
make
some
you feel?
great lyrics.
Thank you.
Well, so I've heard this story from a lot of classically trained. I mean, with UNT here, not to knock UNT or anything like that, 'cause it's a great music program.
Yeah.
But I hear from a lot of classically trained artists that over time it becomes you're pursuing that perfection.
You start to really
so hard.
overanalyze. To where, to me, I started overanalyzing so much. Everything I did sounded bad, and I started to just, like, it wasn't good, but, like, every time I'd sit down and practice, I mean, like, kind of already just like, well, it's not gonna sound how I want it to sound anyways. And then you kind of lose that passion of it just because it's kind of exhausting. At least for me it was.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
That makes perfect sense. So what do you got on your own time when you're listening to your own stuff, just hanging outside of all of this? What do you guys listen to?
Right now, I really like Beanie. She's like kind of an alternative artist, and she did a song with Gus Dapperton, which I love Gus Dapperton. So I've been listening to her album that just came out, or her EP that came out, and then Harry Styles. she's like, I'm like, but it's good. So
Cool.
I've been listening to him. Go, Nia.
I always forget. You know what I listen to.
No, I don't. No. She's been listening to the Beatles in the car.
yeah,
Okay.
you have been listening.
Yeah.
She's,
Respect.
Yeah. I feel like Mia goes through like waves of listening to stuff.
Yeah.
Right now it's been the Beatles.
Yeah, and there was somebody else. Was it Eliza Doolittle or somebody like that?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Liza?
Yeah.
Liza, yeah.
She's been listening to her. And Roy Orbison?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember who
You've
that
listened to like
is.
2 of his songs.
I don't remember who.
Well, I was paying attention because I was looking at it in the car. So, but yeah, that's all I think for her.
That's cool.
I've been listening to Claro. I love the Marias. I've been on a Marias kick for a while. It's very like kind of soft-spoken, easygoing music. And the Beach Boys.
That's cool.
I love the Beach Boys.
Well, reason I ask is oftentimes when people say that they play classical music, the perception is that's it.
That's it,
That's
yeah.
all they listen to. That's all they consume. That's all they're a part. That's their whole life. And it's just not true. Like,
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, have a very wide range of stuff that you're listening to.
Yeah.
And so when people see the instruments you guys are playing, they expect that they're going to see something, and then they see something very not what they were expecting,
Yes.
which is so cool
Yeah.
about y'all's set. It's really, really awesome.
It is fun. We did grow up like listening to a lot of classical music. I think once I started UNT is when I really started listening to other stuff than classical music. And when we started our group, because we were trying to find, just kind of our sound and what we wanted, so we really started just like branching out into everything, like more like rap, I think, and R&B and soul too, to kind of figure out what we wanted to do with our group, kind of like research, I guess. So we definitely have branched out a lot and learned a lot since we started this too, I think.
Yeah. Well, and something I really like about y'all's style and what you've created here is if you had an idea, you tried it. You didn't have to overthink it. You didn't have to. You just were able to give it a shot and see what happened. Whether it was, we're going to take a violin and a cello and we're going to rap. What? But it works. Like, it's cool, and the fun you guys are having, it reflects very well in the music.
Yeah.
It's a really cool performance that we're going to get into very, very soon, so you guys don't go anywhere. But we have one question. This is one we always ask everybody. You guys can answer it as a group, or you can give a few different answers, but this is write to or duet, okay? If you could write with any artist, tour with any artist, duet with any artist, who would they be? They can be alive, dead, famous, not famous, whatever. But write to or duet from Plato's Theory, who would they be?
Okay. Let's see. You go first. You answer one, and then we'll do like 1, 2, and 3. Like we'll each answer.
Nice.
Okay, so right with, I feel like our style would be really good with something like Gus Dapperton would do.
Okay.
I think that would blend very well because he's like kind of weird. His voice, he has a very, very unique voice.
Yeah.
And I feel like with our instruments, that would be really cool to kind of add to it.
Now
Who do you want to tour with?
Trying to think.
Come on, man.
I guess the Beatles.
That would be dope. That would be a good tour. That would be a really good tour. Okay.
Okay, and then duet. Well, I don't sing, but if I could play with anybody or like collab with anybody, maybe Khalid. Because I love his voice, so and he seems nice.
Perfect. Well, everybody, they are Plato's Theory. Don't go anywhere because they are about to give a live in-studio performance right here on DentonRadio.com. Again, don't go anywhere. Wherever you're watching or listening, stick where you're at. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. Again, they are Plato's Theory from right here in Denton. Check them out, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton. Do you love live music? If so, make Denton, Texas your next vacation. Find more information at discoverdenton.com.